Repent.
Oh no.
Your life ebbs low.
More enemies that pop up. I don't know where they're coming from yet. Behind me.
Consider me
Serves you right.
Tear them apart! Forwards!
Look at that. I'm come to me then.
We can do it!
What a waste.
Let us strike as one!
This is for you!
Go around. This is the difficult part.
They go down!
Hmm.
I can't keep this up much longer.
Yeah, that one's not dead yet. I don't know.
You deserved it.
Nice. Oh. Goes to show just a little bit of power goes a long way.
switching.
Bring it!
Stay behind me!
We won't falter!
We won't. Lindsay.
This is where I step in.
Something here.
Repent.
Thanks. Hey. Nice. Oh, didn't I get any loot? Adam, what you doing, mate?
It is
I really don't fucking know.
Waste.
And you go there because you can't do fucking switch fuck all.
Become as dust.
strike with all your might! We won't falter!
Do not falter!
Repent.
Onwards!
Consider me provoked.
Forwards!
Valerie's trying in vain to fasten one of her many bucklers on her armor. It appears that the clasp is completely stuck. Can I help you? under the belt a few more times and finally sighs in Sunshoe. I would appreciate it. Yeah. You identify the problem effortlessly and fix the buckle. Valerie turns her head to see what you are doing and leans almost against your face. Noticing this, she blushes slightly and pulls away. Thank you. But gee, fearless Valerie can be embarrassed. Last off, Sublane shrugs her shoulder, a gesture that could be interrupted as flirting. If Valerie doesn't immediately hide between her habitational mass, jokes aside, we have to go. Okay, so that would be a flirty thing again. Yep. Fog seemed to be thing, but we should wait until it burns off completely. In the meantime, I gather some supplies for your journey and make sure you can enjoy your trip back to us. Okie dokie.
Good work. Nice to see I haven't lost my intuition for people. Not many would have managed to set out to the Stolen Lands and return with the Stag Lord's head, but I knew you could handle it. Congratulations are in order. Today, you'll receive the title of Baron before the High Society of Restov, and even Natala Surtova personally. God's bless her.
Wow.
Tomorrow, you'll be able to return to the Stolen Lands if you wish, but this time as a ruler.
As the ruler.
But matters of state can wait. For now, enjoy this feast in your honor. All the city leaders are here. It's a great opportunity to make some useful connections. Speaking of connections, let me introduce you to Kaessi Eldori. He's my adopted son and apprentice. He's a trustworthy man. I'd like to send him with you as an envoy.
Kaessi. A young half-orc with impeccable pose forms a textbook perfect bow. Okay, do you already know about my encounter with Touch-a-Tree?
Of course. Keston gave me a full report. You dealt with the scoundrel perfectly. It would be naive to think that none of your neighbors will try to stick their hands in your affairs. Especially that sly fox Iravetti.
Okay, you playing up?
Yes, you certainly have that right. But tell me, how well do you know Brevoy's history or the current political atmosphere? It won't be an easy explanation.
What do I need to know about the history?
What's now called Brevoy was originally two different countries, Rostland and Issia. 200 years ago, they were stuck in constant squabbles. Then, Coral the Conqueror showed up and united the two states into one. Such diplomatic tricks are easy to manage when you have dragons at your disposal.
Yes.
The so-called noble houses of Brevoy, mainly Surtova, Orlovsky, and Lebeda, once ruled over Issia. We, the Eldori, ruled Rostland. The royal house Rogarvia, founded by Coral the Conqueror, forced us into obedience. But 200 years isn't long enough to make peace with such a troubled history. Even 2,000 years wouldn't be enough for us to accept Issian rule. Brevoy is a country held together by a thread, and that thread grows ever weaker.
Well, let's go atmosphere.
We, the Eldori and the great noble houses, spent 200 years under the rule of invaders, the royal house Rogarvia. We plotted, we schemed, we stabbed each other in the back, but open confrontation was out of the question. But a few years ago, House Rogarvia disappeared. No one knows how or why, but one day, their manors were just empty, and the force that held Brevoy together, that kept us from a bloody feud, ceased to be. Brevoy is currently ruled by the House Surtova, the former kings of Issia, but their power pales in comparison to that of House Rogarvia when they were here. So now Surtova and Eldori stand facing each other, staring each other in the eye, waiting for the other to draw their sword. It's an untenable situation. No one wants a civil war that would drown Brevoy in blood, but peace between us is also out of the question.
What role do you play?
Rostland wants to regain its independence, and we will regain it. The power the Issians hold over us is humiliating and costly. And the Surtovas won't give us our freedom without a fight. That is, unless there is some external power that can force everyone to sit down and talk. Do you see where this is going?
I really don't.
The stolen lands are disputed territory. Brevoy can't appropriate them without raising protests from each of the neighboring states. However, if some brave people were to found independent states on that land, it would be another matter entirely. My hope is that you and your future neighbors, Baron Hannes Drelev and Captain Maegar Varn, will become our allies. But even your neutrality would introduce a powerful counterbalance to the aggression of the noble houses. Maybe, with your help, the inevitable division of Brevoy can occur without too much pain.
Do the Salt Lords have any other foreign allies capable of playing this role?
We hope to get some help from the Maivani Aldori, the descendants of the Sword Lords who have fled from Coral's rage to build a new nation in the south. But the Issians know this well, and are doing everything they can to deny us this help. I won't go into details, but if my intelligence is correct, if a civil war starts in Brevoy, Maivan will be too occupied with its own inner troubles to interfere.
Okay, and what part does Restov play in the game?
Restov is a free city, proud of its independence from everyone, including the Aldori Sword Lords. But when it comes to Rostland's liberation, our goals align. This whole plan is our joint creation with Lord Mayor Yosef Sellemius.
Natala is already here. Why does she let you grant? Why does she let you grant? Right.
Actually, she could still intervene and disrupt the proceedings.
But she's not going to do that.
She's a Surtova. Their games are always complex and multi-layered. They're always looking for ways to turn defeat into victory. If she's decided to allow you to become a baron, it means she already has some idea of how she can turn it to her benefit. Let's consider how she could do so. Maybe she understands that Rostland will inevitably separate and she doesn't want a war. In that case, new states in the Stolen Lands give the Issians a reason to sit down and talk without losing face. But that's an optimistic view, and truth be told, it doesn't quite match up with what we've come to expect from the Surtovas. The more likely scenario is that Natala wants to win you over to her side. If war breaks out and at least one of you stabs us in the back, Rostland will be surrounded by enemies. That might be enough to bring about our downfall. But you would fall first, and your newly formed states would be left in ruin. The Issians always like to have someone around to pull their chestnuts out of the fire for them. A piece of friendly advice? Don't do business with House Surtovas, no matter what promises they make you. Any deal with the noble houses is a deal with devils. How should I know? We're in the middle of a big game. And today, you move from being merely a piece on the board to being one of the players.
Lies.
I hope you have a better understanding of what's at stake.
Alright. Do I need to do that?
Don't think I'm trying to impose a nanny or a spy on you. We're neighbors now. You'll need someone knowledgeable about Brevoy's politics to act as an ambassador to your court. If you don't like Kaessi, you're free to choose someone else, but I won't be able to vouch for the loyalty or trustworthiness of another envoy.
Okay.
Enjoy your evening. When you're ready for the official part, come to me.
Come to me. Matt is obviously more comfortable on the battlefield than in the company of nobles. He's well built, but the expensive waistcoat he's wearing doesn't quite fit properly, as though it was borrowed. He has a few pale scars across his face, and his dark hair is drawn into an unkempt ponytail with a few streaks of grey running through it. He greets you with a broad smile and a firm handshake. Let me introduce myself. I am Maegar Varn, the new ruler of Dunsville, your neighbour to the east. Like you, I'm about to be a baron. Great job with the stag log, by the way. everyone could exterminate a whole gang of bandits with such a small team. Yeah, it would be nice to have one more character, I'm not gonna lie. How did you earn the title? Truth be told, my team and I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. Commander Aldori needed someone reliable to take and hold the territory. I'm the captain of a mercenary team, if that wasn't clear. Varn and Host. Heard of us? No, no matter. We've done work for Jumandi before. This time, the task was simple. We just waltzed into the area, cleared it out of most of brazen monsters, and built a small fort to hold the place. And for that, a barony and a land to own. It was a dream job. Looking at the rich clothes, he smirks, like a peasant on a plate. I've killed all kinds of monsters, but this is the first time I've so strongly felt that turning away would get me eaten. He nods to the arrogant man in the corner. See that lad? Baron Drevley. He's not like us. Who knows what generation of Baron he is? Didn't even shake my hand. You and me, we're like dirt beneath his boots. That's why those like us, the newly made nobility, need to stick together. Otherwise, he'd take my land and yours the blink of an eye. And goodbye. Okay. Oh. Kaessi. Oh, she's back.
Will you drink with me?
Sure. To my success.
Oh yes. There's no wine in the world that tastes as rich as victory. But still, there's nothing wrong in cheering your successes with wine. But jokes aside, I came to apologize. I know the words I said in our conversation with Lady Aldori might have offended you, but this was not my intention. The lessons life has dealt me were not easy. I've learned to be wary of new acquaintances, which is why I've refused to join your party. I hope you will forgive me for this weakness and for my harsh words. And I hope you will hear me out, for I have something to tell you.
Apology accepted. What do you want to tell me?
As it happens, I came across some very valuable information. What brave conqueror of these wild lands wouldn't be intrigued by news of an ancient shrine, possibly full of great treasures? A place such as this was discovered by my old friends from Kadira, and it just so happens to be located in the lands that today become rightfully yours. My friends lack the courage to enter the shrine and seek the treasure, but what will stop us? We who know the taste of battle and have been singed by the same fire.
What could be better than a treasure hunt?
I'm sure you'd like to finally gain your official title and celebrate your victory. And I don't like noisy parties and ceremonies. Find me when you return to your dominion. I'll rent a house in your capital. We can discuss the details of our expedition there.
Cool.
So long, friend. I'll call you so today because soon enough, all you'll be hearing is, Your Grace, Your Grace.
Your grace, your grace, your grace. Saluting you with the cup, the tiefling girl steps back and disappears in the shadow between the columns. Okie dokie. I'm discussing something with an unfamiliar old lady in a low voice. Upon noticing you, she breaks into a sugary sweet smile. You are not only tough but quick. Well, congratulations on your victory. Enjoy it while you can. I'll take my leave. Before you leave, please allow me to introduce someone to you. I believe Jumandi has already attempted to impose a guard on you as an emissary. I'm guessing her lowborn stepson, the green-skinned boy Kaessi. It's up to you, of course, but I would recommend you a different envoy. Please meet Sandra Melvey, an experienced diplomat who's more familiar with the bravado politics than any brawler could be. The old woman standing next to Natala gives you a slight bow. I would be happy to help you establish diplomatic relations with Bravado. What do you think awaits me? Nothing good, I fear. The Aldori, our dearest friends, didn't deem it necessary to inform you of their plans, I assume, you'll see that preparing to separate from Brevoy, it will not be a peaceful process. They lack the strength currently, hence using the legal loophole to create some independent allies. Once the civil war breaks out, your lands will be the first to endure the strike from Brevoy's forces. Perhaps they'll erect a memorial stone in independent Restov to honour you. Well, I wouldn't count on even that, really. And what would you propose? In your situation, the most reasonable course of action would be align yourself with the lawful rulers of Brevoy, the noble houses. The Aldori won't dare to rebel, knowing they will immediately become entrapped. You could help Brevoy avoid a civil war, while simultaneously can't say that word, but I know that word. Enjoy some well-deserved peace in your lands. Simultaneous, still not right. I'll consider your proposal.
It is done.
An older man with full sideburns looks at you with interest through a golden eyeglass. Well, now, if it isn't the hero of the festivities, protege of our dear Germandi. He peeled this off quite cleverly, I confess. I wasn't convinced your enterprise would succeed. I even bet a bottle of my best Bataxian wine against you, but I'm happy to bet I was wrong. The Aldori have always been adept at finding new talent. And who are you? So it would seem I am Joseph Sellemius, Lord Mayor of Restov. I rule this town and the adjacent lands. As your northern neighbour, I hope you can look forward to a long and fruitful friendship. But you rule Restov, and what about Aldori? Brevoy's politics seems complex and incomprehensible to many. Here, in this part of Rossland, the spirit of Norman freedom still lives. We are loyal to the throne, of course. May the gods prolong the life of His Highness. But here, far from the dominions of the great houses, we have our own way of life. It is especially important now, after the certain events that I probably don't need to name. Aldori's sword lords used to rule Rossland. They're still the largest landowners and main military force in the region, but it's not for nothing that Restov is called a free city. We're proud to choose the Lord Mayor from among the citizens, considered not by their lineage, but by their own merits. But he faints, and he gives you a patronising smile. Why, an aspiring political needs to be well informed. I am talking, of course, about the disappearing of the ruling house HUGH. Can you imagine it? Old man Coral conquered our land 2 centuries ago. It would be a shameless lie to say that nobody wished his royal house could just disappear into thin air. But once that exact thing happened, it turned out nobody was ready for it. All over the country, every member of the royal house disappeared without a trace. Nobody knows what happened. It's a mystery, but a mystery pregnant with opportunity for everyone. There are things, I don't want to boast, but things have been going well in recent years. Trade prospers, the population grows, and the citizens are happy. Although recently, especially after the disappearance of HUGH, more and more troublemakers have been appearing, and people are talking about the most shocking things. But those sorts of rumours aren't worthy of my attention. Wait a moment, your young Valerie will need resources to establish itself, and what I've been told, you're somewhat in need of financial assistance. I could organise and supply everything you need for the construction and spread out the cost on extreme variable terms. I could immediately procure, let's say, 500 cartloads of building supplies. I'm sure that would give you a good start. In exchange, I would take a small favour. Until you repay the debt in full, you simply assume the obligation of contracting building services to the rest of Building's Guild. Do you want it? No. It's your choice.